Good morning, everyone. It is 8:52 in the morning on Friday, the 5th of April, 2024. How beautiful is Bossy today? So I had multiple alarms set, and this time it worked because, well, it had to because I have a lovely cleaner here at the moment. Thankfully, she rang me at like 20 past 7 and was like, I'll be there at 8. So that was cool. I got up straight away and fed Boss and put him outside to have his breakfast so that when the lady got here, I could give her like the walk around of my house. And like I, Boss was standing in like the undercover carport area, sort of shed area out my back, the back. And so I showed her Boss through the window, and I was like, he's friendly, but he's annoying, so to speak, if you don't like dogs, because he very much does jump and carry on and get really, really overly excited like he's about 6 months old when he's an old man. Like, I literally am going to have to get stuff for him to get up on the couch and the bed and definitely the car. Amen. But anyway, I did think there was more than one person coming. There's not, but that's cool. I've paid for 5 hours of deep cleaning, and my house is relatively clean in all fairness, because I do keep it tidy. As I said to this woman that's here, I was like, and again, like, you know, I don't know what people expect. When I first met Ellie and I was like desperately in need of a cleaner, I thought my house looked terrible, and she was the one who was like, you obviously don't know what a terrible looking house is. Because even Ellie was like, your house is fine, it really is just the big stuff. And this lady, she's from India. I have to say that because I just absolutely fucking love people from India, Indians, yeah? Like, I love India, everything about India. I've been to India twice. If I could get someone to feed me every week and it was Indian food, I'd be a happy little camper. Probably wouldn't have these issues I've got with my weight. I mean, I've got Hindi tattooed on my wrist. That's how much I love it. Anyway, I did say to her, I was like, look, I love my dog more than anything. He is super friendly. I think I'm running out of time, shit. But yeah, I was like, he is going to annoy the both of us if I try to keep him outside for the entire 5 hours. So after giving her like the show of my home, and showing her what is important to me, and thankfully I said to her, I was like, this is what you do for a job, so I'm sure you can sort of see what I'm seeing and understand what I'm asking. I was like, but it's the things like the ceiling fans, because I did try to do that myself last week. Well, I tried, if I'm honest, on one part of the fan in the kitchen, and I was like, this is too hard. But I didn't want to do all the rest of it without it, because it kind of makes sense to do that first. So I've given her the tour, and I've said, look, when it comes to this, I was like, I just need it to be clean. And I was like, most important things to me are, like, because I realized last night falling asleep, I absolutely don't need the inside of my oven done, because I don't use the inside of my oven. Anytime I need to use an oven to cook something, I use the air fryer these days. I was like, but ceiling fans, skirting boards, windowsills, the floors, obviously, and the windows are what's really important to me. The windows are driving me crazy, because I do have a nice yard. I was the last person to mow it using Andrew's mower, and it's really stayed quite nice. It hasn't gotten overly long or crazy, and it's looking good out the back. Yesterday I realized that I finally know where I'm at in regards to what I want to do going away road trip wise. Having traveled 80 kilometers in each direction to my sister's Sunday and Monday this week for Easter, and then traveling an hour to my doctor yesterday and an hour and 10 minutes home yesterday, like, that alone just puts me on my ass and is so much pain. And I've realized, I think one of the biggest issues I'm dealing with is there isn't any order in my home. I'm very much that person who needs to be able to go to a filing cabinet or go somewhere and know exactly where I need stuff to be. And as it stands, there's paperwork, like mountains of it stacked up in absolutely no order anywhere. And since the road trip is like a big part of the holiday, it's not, at no point have I ever said that I wanted to get in my car and just drive 25 hours and only stop at like the few nights on the way and just get there, because that's my end destination. And my friend has given me free reign. Like, I can stay at my friend's house on this beautiful farm for as long as I want. So it only makes sense to me, I've decided, and I'll be letting obviously my friend and my mum and that know, because obviously when I was finishing university, I did not have any idea that graduation would be smack bang in the middle of the year, yeah, because I'd finished in T3. So because daylight savings is ending this weekend, a couple of days, and if you've been watching my videos for long enough, you will know I do not like daylight savings. I like it to get dark when it's early. So it's my favorite time of the year coming up, honestly. And I was thinking about it falling asleep last night too. I was like, a big thing that's going to help me with getting up earlier in the morning is the fact that daylight savings is ending. So when it's light in the morning and dark at night, that will help me. So I've decided to take all pressure off myself. And as soon as I made this decision, it was like just such relief, yeah. And the decision is that I'm going to spend the next however couple of months until graduation going through my paperwork, going through everything in my house exactly as I've said for the last however long that I want to. That way I can take my time. There's no pressure, no reason for overwhelm, stressing out, need to do this, need to do that, whatever. I am paying, let's be honest, what is it, $465 for the cleaning today. I appreciate that a lot of people might think that is a waste, especially when I very much need a new phone. But it's not a waste to me, because once I get the deep cleaning done, it's obviously a lot easier for me to manage. Then the fact that I just keep thinking about what Eden said, and I can't help but wonder if her original name was Naomi, so I'm going to go and ask her if that sounds familiar. It's going to be fun watching these back and trying to figure out all the info when I eventually get to the point where I need to be for my website. It'll happen when it happens. But yeah, so I mean, ever since the furniture got dropped off, it's like I said, my house is tidy. Yeah, like you walk in, my house is definitely tidy. But, you know, dusting, floors, like I said, all that sort of stuff, my windows, those are the things I want done. And because I don't want particular stuff done and I do want stuff done, basically they've told me I'm paying for 5 hours and to just discuss it. And this woman is incredibly lovely. When I gave her the tour of my house and I sort of said what I'm saying to you, I was like, please tell me you know what I'm saying. And she's like, yeah, you want it clean. And I was like, bingo. I will say this is the second time I've ever actually hired an actual cleaner. And I get a little weird sometimes. Like when I first had Ellie here, obviously that was a bit of a different circumstances because Ellie had been recommended by Mandy, and I was running late to a therapy appointment, and I met Ellie, and I think I was here for roughly 10 minutes, and I gave her like the quickest tour, and I was like, I'm running so late, I'm going to leave you here. Don't let the dog outside. and I took off. So I didn't come back for however long after the appointment and what I was doing. And at that point, because it was more in the afternoon, I remember having a vodka and smoking some weed because, and again, obviously I make all these videos, so it's all been discussed. Because when I originally got back to my house, after, Ellie had started, my house was turned upside down in comparison to when I'd left. So it was more messy when I arrived home than when I left. And we're talking almost a year and a half ago at this point. Well, what are we at? 12, 14, 16, 17 months ago. And like I said, it's a weird feeling being in your home and having someone else clean it. I think it's a weird feeling, don't get me wrong. I appreciate it might seem even weirder. Like I said to my doctor, if you watched my doctor's appointment yesterday, considering how normal I look and sound, I appreciate that it is difficult for people to get their heads around. This whole anorexia thing is doing my fucking head in, because I can't help but think that maybe old version of me, like working version of me, 22, 3-year-old version of me, may have fallen under that category, because I was quite, not concerned, obsessed, but I was very adamant when I was younger that I wouldn't weigh past a certain amount. But again, like I said, I understand what anorexia is, and based on the physical symptoms, I appreciate that my doctors are concerned, but mentally, every time I look in the freaking mirror, I'm too skinny. I don't want people to be able to see my bones. I don't want to be able to see my bones. I want to just be me, but not skeleton version of me, right? I'm actually really happy that I'm being referred to a gastro something or other. Gosh, I'm good with my words, because I honestly wouldn't be surprised if that's it, because I've felt fucked up with my insides and my digestion and shit for as many years as I can remember. I never feel quite right. And like, if you watched it, like I said, my doctor at one point says in it that it's time for me to potentially have to get some new diagnoses. So I'm not opposed to that. People say that, not people, my mum doesn't believe me. That's cool. I'm not sure where my sister's at with that one. Kind of irrelevant. But it's not like I think it's cool to have all these diagnoses. It's just literally what I've been told throughout my life. When you have paperwork and you have doctors and you have specialists, come on, you bugger, giving you these diagnoses, who the fuck am I to argue, except for the ones I know are crap, which is anorexia. Because I don't think I'm big. I don't think I need to lose weight. I'm very clearly able to see that I am too skinny. So it's interesting. Boss is not happy about being shut in the lounge, but as I continue to keep saying to him, if he didn't jump on people and go crazy, it'd be fine. You all good? Yeah, she's all good. Well, she said she'll knock on the door if she needs me. Boss is standing at the door. Anyway, I'm happy that I'm getting more tests done. I had all the blood tests done for all the thyroid things, which is cool, so we could to see how that goes. I was reading the paperwork for the nodules that are in my thyroids, and it says cysts in different places, and I'm just like, how many fucking cysts can one person have, yeah? Speaking of cysts, I keep checking between my damn toes where I had that problem, and I swear to God, it keeps fucking happening, and I'm like, I don't want to go through that.